Good morning, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 9.0, and today is day 43. So today we're going to continue our training on paid ad campaigns, and I'm going to show you some nuance with some of the non-listing or image-based Facebook ad campaigns. So let's jump into those. We're going to come over to our megaphone icon, seventh one down, and we're going to go back to our Create Campaign and Paid Ad buttons. This brings up the screen we've been looking at the last several days, and so far we've covered all of the listing single image or multi-image, the multi-listing image carousel. Now when you get into non-listing, guys, it's very, very similar. The only thing is you don't select the listing. So you can see this is typically that spot between these two kind of modals, if you will, where you would select that listing, and because you're not advertising a listing, you don't have to select one. So that's really the only big difference on those two ad types. If we come into the, I think it's the fifth or sixth, let's see, way over here, sixth, this is when we get into the use your landing page lead form. Now remember, the difference here is Facebook and Instagram will not have any pop-up to attempt to collect the information from the consumer who is clicking on your ad, which means that 0 leads will come into command. You will need to use some sort of content collection form, right? Some sort of landing page that captures that lead for you. An example might be, let's say you're doing a first-time homebuyer seminar, and you're going to set that up in something like Eventbrite. Eventbrite's going to capture the information for the people that are registering to attend. So in that case, you don't necessarily need Facebook and Instagram to capture it and then send them to Eventbrite and have Eventbrite capture it again. So that's an example of a landing page lead form. There's a lot of other websites out there that you can have that have lead capture. Our KW agent sites actually have lead capture built into those as well. So that's an option if you didn't want Facebook or Instagram to do it. We'll talk more about that when we get to agent sites. But again, if you come in, attract buyers and sellers, so this is a non-listing style, it doesn't mean you can't use listing photos. Okay, so just because it says attract buyers and sellers, you may say, hey, I want to use my listing, but I just want to advertise it, and I'm going to allow my own site to capture the leads. Guys, you can still come in and pull up the listing photos. You're just going to have to upload them from your computer. So here's our media type section. You can see we didn't choose a listing, so there's no preloaded images for us. Instead, we're just going to select from media library, and then from there we can click on add new media, and this is where we can upload those photos from our Google Drive or our hard drive or wherever else, Dropbox, you have those photos saved. So you can still advertise listings, you can still advertise listing photos. Now again, this is a single image, right? So this is not a multi-image carousel, so you got to go with one single image that's really strong. And the other thing here, you can note that there's no tags and no smart plans. Since you're not capturing leads, there's no option to trigger a smart plan or to automatically tag those leads because they're not coming in to command. So that's the main nuance or difference with your first non-lead form, or at least Instagram or Facebook lead form style ad. As we continue down through the series of different ad styles, recruit agents and branding. Guys, this is very similar. It's just more for use for leadership, but it's almost the exact same form as attract buyers and sellers. We're just going to be loading different images. That might be a different image that your market center leadership uses about your market center looking to attract new talent. From here, I'm going to hold off on the Google traffic ads. We're going to skip those. I'll do one more video, most likely tomorrow, on those. Next, you've got the attract buyers and sellers single image all channels. All this does is add in the Google setup, right? So you can see if you come in how it's going to look on Google. It is a third lead source, meaning when you go to set your budget, now you're spending money on Facebook, you're spending money on Instagram, and you're now spending money at Google as well. So when it does come time to set that budget, just make sure that it's high enough to cover all of those channels. But otherwise, everything else looks very similar. We're going to select our Facebook or Instagram pages. We're going to add the listing location. You can see the text the description, business name, right? This is the business name required for the Google setup, and you can see what that looks like right here. And again, you can change it if it's, you might just want to say Marty Miller with KW, right? So got to be short. You only got 25 characters there. So, make sure your business name, although it is required, is as short as possible, under 25 characters. So going back from here, and that's going to be the same on both of those ad types. If it was, let's pull that back up and I'll show you. Sorry, I know we're jumping around a lot today, but trying to knock out the last few. So the same thing here with listing, single image, all channels. Again, attract buyers and sellers, single image, all channels. It's almost identical to this setup, except you're not selecting a listing and you're uploading your own graphics, right? So your own photos from your hard drive, whatever, your own designs, you're uploading it instead of choosing it from the listing. Lastly, we do have a TikTok lead form, so I can click on that. The main thing that I've heard about TikTok is people are like, I don't have a TikTok account. I don't want a TikTok account, so therefore I'm not going to use TikTok for advertising. The reality is you don't actually need a TikTok account to run these ads. You'll see that there's no actual selection of an account. It's going to tell you, hey, you need a profile name, but that's just a profile name that's going to display on the ad. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a TikTok account. It doesn't matter if your profile name is different than your TikTok account. It's basically just what do you want to put in as far as your actual profile name. So I can go in and say, hey, I want to target Texas. I've got 100 characters for body text, right? So it might be check out this amazing new listing in the heart of Katy, Texas. Right, and then I would go in. This is the same thing. We're not selecting our listings, so we do have to upload. Now with TikTok, it's videos, so it is a little bit different, right? So you're uploading a short video. Typically, these are 30 seconds or less, and you would go in, add new media, and upload your video. So it's not a still, and you can see it says, hey, here's the recommended sizes, right? 540 by 960, 640 by 640. Or 960 by 540, and they have to have music or sound. That's another thing too, right? TikTok won't load videos that don't have music or sound. Down here, you're essentially going to put in your profile name, right? And this could just be, again, Marty Miller with KW. That's exactly 20 characters, so that fits. But again, whatever you want your TikTok profile name to be, that's how it's going to show up. You can see it showing here. And then where do you want them to go when they click on the ad? And there is a lead capture form with TikTok. And so in that case, it is going to create leads for you. Those leads, do you want them tagged? And do you want them to automatically fire a smart plan? So you can see those two options the same as our lead capture forms for Facebook and Instagram. So that's it for today, guys. A little bit shorter, but I wanted to wrap up all but the last two. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about Google AdWord campaigns, Google search campaigns. There's some nuance there with regards to keywords and budgets. So stay tuned for that. As always, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll look forward to speaking with you again real soon.